Welcome to the personality reading of Ahn Hyo Seop. We have a spread out here. The main personality card for what has come for him is the Wheel of Fortune. Now, this is a very interesting when it comes in terms of a person. The first thing which I feel is, he's somebody who's intellectual and who reasons through his mind. He reads a lot. I think he's a reader. I have around 4 books in this. And I also feel he's somebody who has a lot of up and downs and is cyclic. He might like something, then he doesn't like it, and then that kind of thing. So he's someone who goes through life cyclic, and he might change his stance on things. I also feel he's someone who goes into the deeper meaning of life. He tries to dig in more. He's someone who's constantly analyzing his life. And when I look at one of the primary influences on him is the 8 of Wands. 8 of Wands is a very strong, fiery energy. We have a lot of wands coming in full speed. And I think he gets bombarded with ideas. I think Ahn Hyo Seop is someone who has a lot of ideas and he gets bombarded with them. And he's constantly churning. He's somebody whose mind is not at rest. It is constantly churning these ideas. And that makes him a very interesting person to talk to, because he's a person who has a lot of ideas. In his past influences, we see him walking away from emotions. This necessarily does not mean that he had a sad life, but this is the influence which has then been in the past. He has walked away from people. He has walked away from relationships, maybe to pursue what he really wanted. That is what I feel. He has the ability to do that. So even if he is feeling sad, he has the ability to walk away from people if it is not suiting him, if it is not serving him, and if it is to find or to go towards an object which he wants. And when I see the future, we have the Death card here, which basically means there is a lot of change coming in his future. His life is going to change dramatically, as we see and watch. His life is going to really change, and a big life change is coming for him. If you look at his identity cards, which is Justice, which makes so much sense. Again, we have a sword over here. He's someone who's very fair, just, and quite principled. He is impartial when he passes out judgment. So when he thinks about people, he does not bias or does not get biased. He analyzes everything through logic and through his intellect. And then his second identity is a Chariot, which he has the ability to be intuitive, though I think he does not pay much attention to it. But he approaches every problem like a warrior. He's ready to face it. He's ready to break it down into small pieces, and then he's ready to tackle it little by little. And he also has a lot of speed. If you see, there is speed over here and there is speed over here. So he's someone who thinks very fast, and to keep up with him, you have to be fast. In the public eye, he is a very hard-working individual. He's somebody who's always honing his skills, and he's busy working at himself. That is what I would say publicly. That is what we see about him. Somebody who's very hardworking, somebody who will do what it takes to, get the job done. That is what I feel he is. Privately, again, analysis. Privately, again, the intellect, logic. He's somebody who is constantly thinking, should I do this? Should I do that? He's really a deep thinker, and that is what I feel he does privately. In his fears, I think he has a lot of things on his mind. In his fears and desires, I think he desires success, he desires money. But I think he also has a very critical personality. He's very self-critical. And because of that constant churning, because his mind is never at rest, I'm sure he has trouble sleeping. He needs to calm down, calm his mind, get the engine slow down, and then he'll be able to sleep better. So he's somebody who constantly thinks and he obviously desires success in life, and I think a lot of opportunities will come his way. He will be able to pick and choose in terms of his future on how his life will go. Let me see some more clarifiers, because how is his emotional self? Let me look at a different deck and see. Can you show me how Ahn Hyo Seop, how is his emotional self? Please give me his clarifiers. Death and rebirth. Oh my god, there are two death cards which have come. So basically he's going through some kind of life transformation right now. You know, something, this death and rebirth, where he's completely being reborn. And let me just pull out some more. The Star. And the Page of Wands. So I think someone is there in his life who will actually create a lot of change in him. A kind of metamorphosis kind of thing is going to go on. Somebody who gives him hope, who shows him direction, who shows him a light, and who's going to bring a lot of passion in his life. That is what I see. These two are major arcana, means these are like life-changing events, life-changing feelings which are happening over here. Anyway, that's it for his personality, and let's go to the next one of his career. Please show me Ahn Hyo Seop's career. Please show me Ahn Hyo Seop's career. We will look at them one by one. First, let us look at the past. Okay. So the past, we see that, we have a Fool card, which basically shows he took a lot of risk when he entered showbiz. Maybe his family was not really, I think I read that somewhere, that his family was not really, into him going for show, for this kind of line. He took a lot of risk when he started. In his past, he's somebody who has taken a calculated risk for trying out something new. Even though this Fool card has maybe a support line, there was somebody who supported him in this. But yet it was definitely a risk. It was a chance which he took in the past. And then we have a Ten of Wands, and you see this person come from journeying, and I think obviously, yes, he came from far away. He left his land where he's grown up, to come for his career. That is the risk which he took, and that is seen here in this card. And Ace of Cups basically shows, yes, he's emotionally connected to his work. This is what he has worked through his heart. He approaches his work emotionally, which is interesting because his personality is so analytical, but when it comes to his work, he's emotional about it, and this shows the new beginning. So I think this is just really his journey of the past, where he decided to take a risk. He left his hometown, and then he started new, and he started completely a new project over here in South Korea, and he approached it through his heart. That is what we see in his past. Now if we see his present, we have the Four of Cups. Sorry, this was the future. Yeah, his present. We have a Four of Cups, the Page of Pentacles, and we have a Four of Swords. So here in his career wise, he seems to be contemplating. He doesn't know which project to take. There are so many options, all of them look good, and yet he seems to be a little bit disappointed by the projects which are coming his way. He's not really happy, even though I think he selects one of them. He's not completely happy in terms of the project which is coming, but it's going to bring him a lot of money. It's going to bring him success, and he's going to it's going to be a restful project. It's not going to be something which is going to take his energy a lot, but I don't think it's completely going to satisfy him emotionally, or even, you know, what he would expect of himself. I don't see he sees himself growing in the project whichever he has taken. So that is the stage he is in. He is in a restful stage. He wants the rest. He doesn't want, he's maybe tired, and whatever is not, he doesn't seem to be very inspired by. And the interesting part is there's a heart over here. There's a red heart. So, and if you see that this is a red thread of destiny. So something interesting must be going on there in his career wise, but I also feel it's connected to the heart. There's something else going on there. When we look at his future, we see the moon card, which basically is a card of illusions. And then we have the judgment, and we have the page of swords. So his future, he seems to, you know, he might feel disillusioned. He might see things very differently than how they are right now in his future. And he, I think, also will go through a inner calling, inner discovery of who he really is, and what, and his true abilities to be, you know, pulled out or coming out. And that might come up when we have the page of swords. Maybe finally in the future he's going to get a project which will really you know, challenge him intellectually, challenge him to be his best, to be better than who he is. It's a very interesting page of swords where, you know, you're walking a very thin line. You're taking a lot of risk. You're walking a very thin line, and you have a lot to study, but you're being uplifted. Your mind is being lit. That is what I feel these birds simplify. And you have these birds which are, you know, calling out to you, which are telling you and encouraging you. So I think his future project is going to be really interesting, something he's going to watch out. But he's going to go through some kind of change in the future, some kind of deep understanding of himself before he can reach this kind of, you know, future which we are looking at. So his career looks interesting, and definitely somebody we should watch out for. And I hope you'll enjoy this reading. We'll move to the last part, which is his love life. Let's look at how is Ahn Hyo Seop's love life. Ahn Hyo Seop. Wow. Okay, we have his past. We have the Nine of Wands, which actually shows that there was completion over here. Something finished, a complete cycle got over. And in the present we have the Knight of Wands, which I feel it's young, youthful energy, very passionate energy going on. And there is fire in his soul. That is what I feel right now. He is lit up. And in his future, we see the Emperor, which says that he's going to be a very, very strong position. But the funny part is, yes, he's looking single here. It's not that he's not looking, you know, he's having a partner. But even in that way, I feel he's someone, the Emperor is even stronger than the King. Okay. It is also, see, he's holding a chess piece. And he's sitting on top of a planet. I think it looks like Mars. And if you notice, it's a chessboard. So he's somebody like a winner. This position is of someone who has won the game. And it's very interesting. There is not, you know, in terms of tender-hearted love over here. I feel, let me get some clarifiers. Can you give me some more information about his love life in the future? Okay, the same star. There's somebody in his life who's going to be really his guiding light. You know, the star who's going to guide him. the Fool. And Death and Rebirth. So interesting. If you see, these cards came before in the previous reading and they've come again. So I think he's going to be in a very satisfied relationship, very strong, and that relationship is going to change him in and out. He's going to take a risk for that relationship, and whoever she is, she's going to be the guiding light in his life. And that string is very strong. This is major arcana. All actually three are major arcana. So this is very strong. The connection is very, it's not something which can be broken easily. Because she's going to cause such a deep change in him. He's not going to be who he was. He's going to be completely different. It's very interesting. Okay, I hope you all enjoyed this reading and you all had fun as much as I had. And if you all like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.